Virusphere, cultural resistance to phage therapy.
I want you to imagine where routine surgery, such as caesarean sections, lead to unstoppable and dangerous infections. A world in which sick patients spend years in isolation wards, in which we doctors have no treatments for tuberculosis, no treatments for gonorrhea. Now, I know this sounds dystopian, but it's not the future. This is now. And it's not just now in far-flung countries. This is now here in Britain in 2016.
Biophage therapy is gaining scientific recognition as an important alternative to antimicrobials in the global fight against resistance.
Bacteriophage is a virus that specifically infects bacteria. So bacteriophage just means bacteria eater. And all bacteria that have been examined are thought to have these natural enemies. So they're very, very specific. So for example, a bacteriophage that infects E. coli won't infect another species of bacteria. So they're natural enemies of bacteria.
But what will the public think about being treated with live viruses? From AIDS to Ebola to SARS and bird flu, recent years have seen wave after wave of pandemics which have generated fear amongst all of society. It's safe to say that public opinion sees viruses as unequivocally negative. And looking at the text in which society expresses itself, we can see that the fear of viruses crosses across all types of cultural forms, from TV programs to films to board games to computer games. We can even trace virus fear back to classical literature. We've seen how easy it is for scientific knowledge, especially medical knowledge, to be misunderstood. We've seen how hard it is to rectify mistakes once misunderstandings have become commonplace. We're surrounded by alarmist narratives about viruses. Look at this blockbuster.
That people stay indoors until further notice.
So it's an epidemic now. An epidemic of what?
Faced with the power, both conscious and subconscious, of this kind of cultural message, wouldn't it be naive to assume that the public will simply accept phage therapy? This project seeks to be ahead of the curve, leading public opinion on phage therapy before misunderstandings can arise. We're aiming first to understand virusphere better, by bringing together the various pockets of established research on syphilis, on AIDS for example, which have been done by cultural and literary studies scholars already. We'll also generate new knowledge where there are gaps. Then we'll directly involve the scientists and medical practitioners in an interdisciplinary collaboration so that we can take forward the understanding we've generated of the cultural context of their work. Finally, we're going to work together to generate a concept of good viruses, communicated in the form of newly commissioned cultural narratives, thereby tackling the cultural sphere in which virus fear is often expressed. Ultimately, we'll aim to create a cultural climate in which the full scientific potential of phages can be realised.